Hi everyone, and welcome back to East Coast Mom Life. It's Vanessa here, and today I'm going to tell you not only a trick to saving money, but also a trick that will save you some time. We as a family of four love fresh baked cookies. However, I don't always have a chance to whip up a full batch of cookies whenever we are craving them. So a few years ago, I figured out a hack that I can actually freeze my cookie dough and cook it later. It came to me as people for fundraisers were always selling frozen cookie dough that you could just throw on a cookie sheet as you needed some and cook them up as need be. So I thought I would try my own, and it worked out great. So today I have made our favorite chocolate chip recipe, but we did have extra M&Ms left over from Easter, so I thought I would do like our version of a I think they're called like monster cookies. So here's my cookie dough pre-made and ready to go. So all we have to do is put it on a cookie sheet to freeze. I like to use my little cookie scooper, so it's like a mini ice cream scoop. I find it works really great to get the perfect shaped cookies. You can also just roll them into balls as well. So what I like to do is, if I can have a chance, I'll make a double batch of cookies when I am making them so that I can eat some now and then freeze some for later as well. This works out great as if those busy weeks that we want to have fresh cookies for lunches or for snacks, that I can just pull them out of the freezer, warm up my oven, and we're all set to make fresh cookies without me having to actually make a full recipe. So all I'm doing right now is just scooping them and putting them on this cookie sheet, and where we're not cooking them, they can be closer together. So what I'm going to do with them is flash freeze them on this cookie sheet. So for those of you that don't know what flash freeze is, it means putting things in the freezer at a short period of time on a flat surface, so a cookie sheet or a plate, and then taking it out after about 15 to 30 minutes and putting it into either a container or a freezer bag at that point. By doing that, you're freezing the things separately, so they're not going to be froze together in a big clump, and it's easier then to just take out what you're needing when you're needing it and cook or use when the time comes. I not only do this with cookie dough, you can do it with a shredded cheese. If you buy a lot of cheese, you can pre-shred it, flash freeze it and put it in a bag, so then you just pull out a handful of shredded cheese as you need it. We also do it with green pepper. So if we have green pepper going bad, I will chop it up, flash freeze it, and then put it into a bag or a dish, and then we can just take a handful of frozen green pepper as needed without wasting it, and it's not a big clump, so you're not kind of chopping away at it with a knife or something to try to get it loose. Okay, so I'm going to flash freeze a dozen and a half today. So as you see, I just scooped them all out. They're all the perfect little shape, so like I said, you can roll them in a ball or whatever you would like. I just like using the cookie scooper. It just works great for me. And I'm just going to place this whole cookie sheet in the freezer. Once again, here are my pre-scooped cookies, all ready to go in the freezer. So I'm just going to open it up here, and we're just going to set it right up top here. And I'm just going to close it like that, and I'll check it in about 15 to 30 minutes. It's now been about 30 minutes since my cookie dough has been in the freezer, and I know that they're good to go now because they are a little stuck to the sheet and they're not as squishy as they were. So they're kind of hard, so I know that they're not going to stick together when they're in the bag together in the freezer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Ziploc bag. I prefer to use the bag just because then I can throw them in and out of the freezer, and I'll reuse the same bag if I'm making the same batch over and over again, and replenishing it as we're using it type thing. So what I always remember to do is write on the bag what temperature to bake it at and for how long as well, just in case I forget, or if my husband wants to throw them in when I'm not home, then we all know what to put them in the oven for. So I'm just going to put bake at 375 for 10 to 12 minutes. And with this, you can use any cookie dough recipe that you would like. For us, this is our favorite and our go-to when we go through quite a few of these kind of cookies. And like I said, I did throw M&Ms in it as well. So I'm just going to peel them off with my cookie sheet and place them in my freezer bag. Some of them will stick a little bit more than others, but they're pretty solid. They're not really squishy anymore, so they'll go in the freezer great like this. Now they can last for a few weeks in the freezer. I've had some in there for about 3 weeks or more before, and when I did take them out, I did notice that there was a little discoloration on them from being in the freezer, but they cooked up fine, they taste fine, they just didn't look like my normal cookies would look. But taste-wise, there was no difference. So I know that I could last for, I would say no longer than 4 weeks would be my max that I would leave cookie dough in, not that it ever lasts that long. Anyway. So now that I have them in the bag like this, I'm just going to pop this bag in my freezer, and whenever we are craving that fresh cookie and I don't have time to make a whole batch, I know I can just pull them out, read the instructions, and place them on a cookie sheet and cook them, and we'll have cookies within 10 to 12 minutes without me having to bake anything else. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this video, and please like it down below so you know that you are watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I want you to stay tuned to see all the new tips and tricks that I do have coming for you, and to follow us along here on the East Coast. Thanks guys. See you soon.